Hey everyone, I'm Paul Johnson and welcome to this webinar. The ethos of this is effectively that traditional businesses are valued at 3 times profit. You go to your accountant, ask him how much your business is worth, he'll probably say 3 times profit. However, prop tech businesses and other tech-enabled businesses can be worth up to 15 times profit. Think of Purple Bricks. You know, the two brothers, Michael and Kenny Bruce, when they set that up, sure, they didn't think one day it was going to be worth £1 billion, but there it was a few years later. So joining me today, I've got Martin Sukanik, who's a joint venture client of mine, and I've got Miraj, who is our resident AI and agentic AI expert. So, anything technical, please don't ask me or Martin. That's all for Miraj to answer. But so just a little bit of bio about the three of us, I think, before we crack on. My very short bio is it's I qualified as a chartered accountant, chartered tax advisor back in the 90s, then an accredited strategic planner. I sold my accountancy practice in 2003, and I've spent the last 2 to 3 decades buying, building, and selling companies. But what we're now seeing with the advent of AI, generative AI like ChatGPT, and also agentic AI, which is something that a lot of people don't understand just yet, we're seeing that in the next 2 to 3 years, we're going to see businesses completely transformed. But we've also got a bit of a timing issue now that we need to move quite quickly with this. So that's effectively my bio. I'm just going to hand you over now to firstly to Martin. Martin can tell you a little bit about himself, and then pass on to Miraj. Martin.
Bro, hi guys, I'm Martin Sukenik, the founder and director of Rainbow Northwest, which is a state agency. But for past 7, 8 years, I was working purely just with investors, helping them to build their portfolio, selling off-market properties. I sold some blocks. I sold full portfolios as well, bigger deals. The longer I was in this game, basically, and the network that I created, the bigger deals I was getting on my table. Like I've got some lands at the moment on my table for 40 apartments in Liverpool. I've got one for 13 warehouses. So that's kind of what I've been doing since 2018 when I left the corporate world. My background is in recruitment. I've spent 8 years in recruitment. And in the end of my career as a senior contract manager, I was overmotivated by the books you can see behind me. I was reading too much and I wanted my own business. So I set up a limited company, started working with investors, and now we building an estate agency. And again, through the books, I found very interesting that I can find and identify a business, I can improve it, and I can sell it. One of the strategies that I'm very, very passionate about. It's a very similar to flips in the property. So you can flip businesses as well as you can flip some properties that we did in the past. We bought distressed property which was in a bad shape for very good price. We improved it. We did the refurb, spent 25-30K on it, and we sold it with a profit. That's the great case scenario. Basically, when you make profit on it, you're targeting 20-30K to be made on something where you invest, let's say, 120 grand. So the same is possible to do with the businesses, and that's why I link with you, Paul, and we JV partnered. And what we are doing now is we are improving my company. We're looking for another company that we can join to Rainbow Northwest to increase profitability and numbers. And then we want to implement agentic AI and systems, softwares to all these 2 companies or 3 companies, wherever we will take it, basically. And then at some point exit and sell with a profit. So that's what we do here now.
Fantastic. As we've said before, Martin, that this is a real game changer with introducing Miraj, as we will in a moment. That just to sort of, that basically, if you were to take your business now and develop it, as I've done in the past, I've run companies, at 10 million plus turnover, over 150 employees. But when you're growing them traditionally, it's very hard to increase the valuation over and above introducing new contracts, introducing new employees, etc., new departments. But with this, we've got Miraj with us now to sort of talk about the AI and the agentic AI, which is, as we said before, traditional business can be worth 3 times its profits, whereas prop tech and tech-enabled businesses with AI and agentic AI as the intellectual property can be worth up to 15 times. So, Miraj, would you like to unmute and introduce yourself?
Thanks, Paul. Thanks, Martin. That was a really nice introduction. So my name is Miraj AI. The name has AI in it. For the last 12 years, I've taken leadership experience to ship systems, different project scopes for enterprise clients as well as startups, helping them to position themselves with an edge, manage projects and strategies that generate results, right? And most importantly, results that don't just leave an impact but create a demand, right? And that's where I've been for the last 12 years, where my situation has been mostly focused on how do I transform businesses, right? Not just from a perspective of implementation of digital systems like AI or other technology, but also from their strategic standpoint, like how can we weave in new ideas, new technology into strategy to help businesses such as Martin grow. That's about me. Over to you, Paul.
Thank you, Miraj. That's great. Yeah, as I said, we've got the strategies, we've got the implementation team. Martin is very luckily the first client here that we're JVing with to take his business to the next level. And I think this is very real. And as I've said to Martin in the past, I'm not guaranteeing we're going to create the next purple bricks, but who knows? Who knows? As you say,
Yeah, I just want to add to it that this is the time where this AI, agentic AI, and all these softwares are evolving, and it's time to jump on the train. Many people will miss it. I'm positive about it. It's there was a time when people didn't believe in internet, and look at the times now. We are living social media. Everyone is walking with a smartphone. We are constantly scrolling. That's where we live at the moment. And if I wouldn't take a step now, I was missing an opportunity to get my company to the level that I want it to be. And who knows, we might improve it to that level that we will just keep it and live in Dominican or Hawaii. Who knows?
Who knows?
Sky's the
Where does it
limit
take
for it.
us?
But I'm very excited to learn the process as well, because this is what I want to do in the future. I want to identify businesses, use people like Miraj and project managers to improve it, and then sell with the profit. I've already been surrounded with investors. I can attract investors. I'm building all my brand, all about loyalty. The podcast we did together, Paul. It's all coming together, and this is the part of it. Basically, this is the part of the business that I'm very, very excited about.
Fantastic. As we say,
I think you've taken the first step. I want to jump in here, Paul. I think you've taken the first step already, in order to grow anything, right? Like a business or, an idea, you need to take the first step. You need to move towards that and accepting the fact that, your business needs AI or new technology to help you take it to the next level, right? Like you said, is very important. That acknowledgement, not a lot of people have today, right? People are very comfortable in their space. And I must appreciate that, Martin.
Absolutely. And
I think it's ego thing, and I've got new book. Ego is the enemy. It's somewhere there. I didn't read it yet, but I will read it.
Very
100%.
true. So true. It's so true. That can be the enemy. I think, as I say, from my perspective here, look at you two guys now, working with you two, that over the years I've been involved in startups, I've been involved in IPOs and pretty much everything in between. But what we're looking at now, this growth potential over the next 2 to 3 years, specifically with agentic AI, it's just going to completely transform not just companies but industries. But as Miraj always says, it's not just about replacing humans. There will always be the human in the loop, as we say, HITL. That's always going to be required, I believe. Certainly for a good number, maybe another decade or so. This isn't taking over, but what it is doing, it's taking over. The ones who will go forward are the ones who learn this and learn how to do this with their own businesses. So as a team, we're working with Martin now. We obviously can't do this with hundreds of different companies at the same time, but we have got the ability to take on 2 or 3 new clients right now. So if you're watching this webinar and you think, I can see myself, I'm pretty much where Paul was with his property company, where Martin is with his property company, and I could really do with speaking to these guys, then reach out. There's contact details. We're not hard to find. We're not the Scarlet Pimpernel. We're very easy to find. There'll be some contact details somewhere around this video as you're watching it. So please, if you can see yourself in this position and you can see, actually, yes, I'd like my company to be more profitable, to be more efficient, and to be obviously far more valuable, from going from a traditional business to a tech-enabled, as we say, we're talking about property here, a traditional property business to a prop tech business. If that's all you did, you're looking at potentially taking a £1 million company to a £5 million company. Now, just think about that for a moment. Or if your company's worth 200,000, you've now got a £1 million company, purely and simply by applying these strategies. But of course, we've got a lot more we can do with that. We can acquire new companies for you. We can apply strategic planning, business development, profit improvement strategies as well along the way. So just think what the potential there would be for your business if you could work with a team like us. So that's all from me. Guys, do you want to say anything else before we close?
All from me as well. Looking forward to do this, learn along the way. And I think there are some great times in front of us, 100%.
Absolutely.
I'll keep this brief because and I want to paint a simple picture, right? Your operations are running smoothly. That's what we want to give back through this webinar as well. Like imagine your business is a high performance car. Before, you and your team were constantly under the hood, fixing small leaks, checking the tires, and manually swapping out parts. Like after transformation, you have an intelligent engine with agentic AI that monitors everything, self-adjusts, and reports any potential issues before it becomes a problem. It's not about just a fast car, but it's about the best car in the league, right? Like that's the goal that we want to achieve together, and that's what we want to make Martin as well in the future. So that's for me.
Thank you, Miraj. Yeah, absolutely. I concur with everything you both just said. I think that's all for today. I think if this has piqued your interest in any way, shape, or form, please reach out to us and let's see how we can help. Thank you.